I went through my son's iPad and found out my wife had been secretly cheating on me, so I secretly learned more about her affair and did something that changed my life forever. Plan 1 is going fully nuclear, showing evidence to every one of my wife's infidelity, even showing proof of Jay's infidelity to his family. Also worth noting, regardless of which plan I choose, I will tell Jay's wife the truth as she deserves to know what kind of homewrecker her husband is. I will also serve divorce papers right in my wife's face. Plan 2, threatening to go nuclear. With hopefully the vital evidence provided by a private investigator, I can threaten my wife with the evidence I've obtained and persuade her not to contest the divorce and let me have full or primary custody, otherwise I will go nuclear. Of course, these are drafts, but let me know if you have any advice on how I should proceed. This will be a slow and mentally draining process, but I hope to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Update 2. I will discuss a few minor points before ranting about how my life has been since discovering my wife's affair and my mental health struggles. I want primary custody of my son for 2 reasons. Firstly, my wife works more hours than me as her job is way more demanding than mine and I take care of my son more. And secondly, I'm horrified by the fact that her dirty pictures were on my son's iPad, so overall I believe he will benefit staying with me. I also never intended to take my child away from his mother, but nonetheless, she caused the family to collapse by failing to keep her legs closed. A user also suggested that she could be having an affair with a coworker, so I've arranged a meeting with her colleague who I consider a friend. I've also concluded I'm going to take the less nuclear approach but with a few minor adjustments. Finally, and with significance, I felt inclined to postpone contacting a lawyer initially as I wanted concrete evidence from a private investigator. However, upon receiving numerous recommendations from the community, I gave in to their advice and will to seek legal counsel. I've come to realize it's key for me to stay several steps ahead of my wife, considering the possibility of her initiating divorce proceedings. Now, on to how life has been for me. Honestly, I've been struggling to hide my frustration and disgust. Yesterday we had intimacy and did stuff because I've been accepting her demands. She knows I would never turn down intimacy and I genuinely felt sick. I have no evidence. My wife or Jay's affair turned physical, but the mere concept of my wife opening her legs to another man frightens. She questioned my peculiar motives, but I just joked that my Johnny isn't working and she laughed. We left it at that, but I genuinely felt humiliated and I think I'm a massive a-hole for forcing myself to do this act. My wife could be laughing about this situation to Jay and I'm just struggling to accept what life has become. I've also been overthinking. What if my son isn't mine? What if this affair has been going on for quite, and I've been too oblivious to recognize the red flags because I firmly held on to the idea that my marriage had no flaws? I'm sorry if this post felt like a rant, but I would appreciate advice on how I can hold on while knowing that my wife is having an affair. Update 3. Hello everyone. I will keep this as short as possible. In my most recent post, many Reddit users told me to do a paternity test, so 2 days ago, my son did a paternity test and I was extremely confident he was mine. But fate decided against me and unfortunately, he's not my son. He could be Jay's son actually. I may be going insane, but it may be my last few days on Earth, so F it. My son could be Jay's son or another man's son. I still haven't told him the truth, nor have I confronted my wife about it, but I believe she had caught wind of it. I kinda just want my son to forget me and bow out of this world by going nuclear and ruining my wife's life, not physically but through showing her family and friends pictures of her infidelity and proof my son isn't mine, and making her suffer knowing she caused a man demise through her actions and she has to live for the rest of her life with this guilt. Maybe I'm going insane, but damn, this whole situation has screwed me up. What if I just said no to downloading Minecraft for my son? What if I just never saw Snapchat in the first place? Regardless, even if I discovered my wife's affair, I would have eventually figured out that my wife was having an affair. Damn it, why am I still calling that witch my wife? A part of me doesn't want to give up and live a new life. I love my son dearly, but knowing that the past 9 years have been a lie really breaks me apart. Even just by looking at him. Maybe after obtaining evidence from my private investigator, I might let the witch know I'm aware of the affair and my son's paternity, and I will divorce her and request to give up my parental rights so that my son meets his true father and grow up hating the witch. If I don't update within a month, I'm probably gone. If I do update, I will probably be miserable, relying on Reddit for free therapy knowing I abandoned my son because of my wife's stupid actions. I'm sorry. No child should be going through this, and I'm such an a-hole and it hasn't even started yet. Yup, I can't go through with this guilt. I'm going for option 1. Goodbye to the few people who cared.